Welcome back to my channel. Today we're unpacking one of the most emotionally charged dynamics in narcissistic families, the relationship between the scapegoat child, that was me, and the golden child, which was my brother. Not his fault, that's how it was set up. So if you've felt rejected, gaslit, or erased in your family, this video is actually for you. Hi, my name is Michele Paradise, and welcome to my channel where I bring together evidence-based information coupled with my own personal experiences to help you navigate the most important relationship in your life, which is the one with yourself. So let's get started. In narcissistic family systems, roles aren't random, they are assigned. The golden child is idealized, praised, and held up as the example. I would even say that the golden child is in the image of the narcissistic parent. They live vicariously through what they would like to have lived. They live through their child. So if the child is academic and they wanted to be academic and they failed or it didn't work out, they are living that through their child. If they are academic and the child is athletic, that doesn't go very well, and they won't be the golden child. On the other hand, the scapegoat is blamed, shamed, and often accused of being too emotional. That was me. I was called oversensitive. Some of you may have heard this before, but I was actually put on diazepam at the age of 8 because they didn't know what to do with my sensitivity. I now know that I am a highly sensitive person, which is a temperament trait, but they didn't know that then. And I was seen as too much, so I needed to be suppressed and quietened down. So these roles serve one purpose: to protect the narcissistic parent's ego. That's it. Their supply. See, the scapegoat and the golden child are supply for the narcissist. So I've showed you this before. This is the narcissist, in this case, the narcissistic parent. This is the supply wheel, and their children, like many other people in their lives, will be on that wheel. And they take from them what they need when they need it. So how is this split created? The split is not just emotional, it's survival based. Narcissistic parents divide their children to maintain control. So I know I've mentioned the golden child and the scapegoat child. There's also possibly, depending on how many children, the invisible child, and they're not seen at all. So the golden child becomes the mirror, reflecting the parents' fantasies, as I said earlier. So it's what they would have wanted. And I've seen this in parents. I've seen parents who didn't go to a big university and now they want their daughter to go to Oxford or Harvard, and they push and push and push them. And I've even seen these children who are being pushed develop eating disorders. But that's another conversation. So this never goes well for the golden child. As much as people think it does, it's actually worse to be the golden child. And the scapegoat becomes the shadow, absorbing their projected shame and rage. Siblings are pitted against each other. Genuine closeness becomes dangerous because they want to divide and conquer. They don't want you to be close to each other. And this was actually my experience. My brother was the golden child, and I was the scapegoat child. And he was actually, because of the setup, it turned against me. Not his choice, not his fault. So the impact on the scapegoat is profound. If you were the scapegoat, you likely felt unseen, unheard, or punished for having boundaries or emotions. In my case, I had no boundaries. I was in a very enmeshed family. My father was my way or the highway. So I had no boundaries. I didn't know what a boundary was, but I had a lot of emotions. But you were made to feel like the family problem, even though you were often the truth teller, right? That would get you into a lot of trouble. You may now struggle with low self-worth. I did, not anymore. Hypervigilance is huge, huge, because you're always checking out what's going on and trying to second guess things and create harmony, because you don't want them coming at you, because you know they probably will. Or you may develop trauma responses like fawning or functional freeze. Definitely me. I'm a recovering people pleaser. I was in functional freeze for years, still am sometimes. And I now have a lot of awareness of that. So I now have boundaries, just so you know, the people pleasing can be healed. It's a lifelong journey, but I'm not really a people pleaser anymore. I have a lot of good boundaries, and I'm not in functional freeze all the time because I'm aware of it. Now, what is the impact on the golden child? The golden child, the children aren't always as lucky as they seem. They're not. You know, you may see them as getting everything, but they are so stuck. They carry intense pressure to succeed and conform. Many develop narcissistic traits themselves, definitely in my family, or they collapse under the weight of perfectionism. And this can show up as eating disorders. It can show up as addictions, substance abuses. I've seen this in a lot of situations. If they begin to question the system, they often face harsh backlash from the parent because the parent needs the golden child to sit on this pedestal, to adore them, to be adored. It's this cycle, and it doesn't end well for the golden child. So repair can be rare, but it is possible. Reconciliation is complex if the golden child is still enmeshed with a narcissistic parent. Now, when I say this, the narcissistic parent may be deceased, but they're still enmeshed with them. They would think about something. So they're still very much alive, and they may deny your reality or gaslight your experiences. So recently I was with my brother, and I said, first time I ever said this to him, I said, you know, I believe Dad was narcissistic, highly narcissistic, and he genuinely looked around the room and thought about it, and he went, really? Now, my brother's very intelligent, very switched on, but he could not see what I saw because he was the golden child. So his experience was good, and he actually spent a lot of time pushing back at my father, and that created a lot of conflict in our family, but he got away with it. So some golden children do wake up, but it usually takes a crisis or distance. If I may say, I'm not saying this because I was the scapegoat child, because our father is deceased, and he did live in my brain for a long time. In my mind, he was there. Not anymore. But I much rather, and research shows that it is better to be the scapegoat than it is to be the golden child, because you're less stuck. You develop independence. You develop self-sufficiency. You learn how to look after yourself because no one else is. Whereas the golden child is stuck. They never really get to grow up. They're about 3 years old. You know, they're still stuck in those first 3 years of their life. They're stuck in a lot of narcissistic energy, and they don't really ever get a chance to escape. And that is definitely what has happened in my family. So I want you to think about that one. Healing starts with acceptance, not waiting for them to change. And if you were the scapegoat, your ability to see the truth is not a curse. It's a gift. You're not broken. You are burdened. Now, the thing is, I get asked this question a lot. Children that there's only one child in the family, they say to me, can you be both? 100% you can be both. Because it is really dependent on the needs of the narcissistic parent. Sometimes they want to see themselves through you and your achievements. And sometimes you annoy them and you don't do things the way they want you to, for you to do them. So they scapegoat you, they shame you, they blame you, they sometimes stonewall you and breadcrumb you. All those things around the devaluation period of being a target to a narcissist. So 100% you actually can be both at different times. And those different times could be within minutes. I'm not talking about long periods of time. Just know that if you're the scapegoat, you're not broken. You were burdened. I want you to start with inner child work and reclaim your voice. That's what I did. As some of you know, I've trained with Dr. Gabor Mate and in Compassion and Inquiry, and I also have my own therapist. And you need to grieve the sibling you never truly had. And I did struggle with that for a long time because I just thought I was so wrong and that I wasn't worthy. And I was really wanting to fix the relationship with my brother. And then actually Dr. Mate said to me, it's not my responsibility. His pain is his. It is his journey. And I need to do the healing for myself. So know this, you are worthy of a life beyond that role. And if this video resonated, please hit the like, subscribe, and share it with someone else who needs to hear it. Because you're not alone. There's hundreds of thousands, perhaps millions of scapegoat children out there. And what I did was I got away as quickly as I could. I didn't even understand it at the time. I was very young, but as soon as I could, I got away. And that really saved my life because I had to do the healing remotely. It's not your siblings' fault. It's not even your narcissistic parents' fault because they are seriously wounded themselves and they have done no work to heal that, or they would not have laid all of that on you. So thank you very much for listening today and following me. And all that remains for me to say is please stay safe. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.